We're getting them. You know that silly drink or something? You push the bar on them, the water comes out. I know, but they said we got a lake. So unless we can plug it in, I haven't tried. I get told it'll be a winter project. Bill should be in the back. Your bill should be the last page if you need one. Just because. Did you go visit after? You probably did.
I was put in.
I just put them in. You're big boy.
It's a good idea, put it the last page and you correct it.
It's easier to work out.
And it's the only one I need signed. Where is it? I haven't heard from Jonathan.
You know it.
So you go to Reedland?
Next week.
Boy, you see all that water. Ooh, way out of bounds over there. We were gonna go fishing. The boat ramp is 4 feet under. Like, we can't even get to the boat ramp.
Probably moving faster than shit too.
Oh, it is, yeah. Big whole trees. Just as you drive over.
Right.
I haven't heard from him.
I thought he was gonna be here.
I thought so
I
too.
talked to him here last week. Maybe something came up, I don't know.
Cody's the only one I know does.
In the meantime, it's time to go.
Well,
4:35.
Yep.
Okay. But 4:33.
I guess we got
Yes, we will.
Okay.
Call the meeting to order, please.
Hey, Tony.
Approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Second, approve the agenda. All in favor? Okay. Citizens' opportunity to address the council. Go ahead. Who are you, please?
Emily Samachek.
Okay.
I
There's
think you're
a
on.
line item for it.
Oh, I don't do it now? I
She
didn't
can do it, yeah.
Sorry.
You can if you want. She said,
Okay. Seeing none others, okay, move on. The consent agenda, approve the previous minutes and the bills.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Okay. PAC School Board PR Committee to discuss sharing summer rec program with Lorenz.
Yes, sir.
I guess I don't understand what that all was about. We'll find out.
Yeah, so basically what it's about is we share with Lorenz at the middle school and high school level, but not at the elementary level. And one of the impacts to our student enrollment, we believe, is that we don't share rec programs for the youth. And Lorenz rec programs go with Albert City, Truesdale currently. And then, those kids end up developing their team, friends, and things like that in that group. And then they tend to want to open enroll out to another district. So what I thought could really be a win-win for the school district as well as the communities are Lorenz is participating and partially funding another area anyway. And they're a city council that previously expressed some interest in sharing with Pocahontas. And I'll be meeting, the PR committee will be meeting with them on their board meeting on the 18th. So what we were wondering and thinking is that it'll do a couple things. First, for Pocahontas, right now I know rec numbers have been a little low in participation. So if you had some other kids in the program, that would help our summer programs. It shouldn't be an additional cost. Any additional cost Lorenz would help participate in. And from the school's perspective, it will help us with state funding. That open enrollment out costs the school $8,000 per year, and it's the students and children of this community that have some negative impacts from that. So we'd like to ask Pocahontas to entertain sharing summer rec programs with Lorenz for a lot of the same reasons that we share other services and activities, and like I talked to you guys about when you're looking at sharing the police force activities. That's really it in a nutshell.
Sharing to what end?
All the different summer rec programs that we have, whether that's t-ball, baseball, softball, soccer, those sorts of things, just opening that up and having Lorenz officially be invited to send their kids here for that.
But then accepting the invitation would be all we would be needing from the parties concerned.
Can you say that again?
That's all we would need was the invitation to
Yeah.
them to come down.
Yeah, I really think it is. It's not asking you to change the programs in any way. It should bring extra numbers of kids, and hopefully it's all volunteer coaching for a lot of that, I believe. So you might get some extra numbers and participation from that as well. So ideally, it'd strengthen the summer program here, it'd strengthen their summer program there, and it will help the school out overall.
Any additional cost involved with
I don't really think so, but whatever, if you had more kids and that meant more games and more whatever that had additional costs in the school, I'm sure that Lorenz would participate in that. Then it probably will reduce your costs overall because you're going to get some participation from the city on their end in summer rec programs, which they're currently participating with our city troops.
And coaches, referees, we've got all that.
Based on what you guys have currently, it would just be adding more numbers to it. So if you had more games on the schedule and had to add more umpires or anything like that, you'd be asking Lorenz to cover those costs, the additional costs.
So a win-win.
I believe so. I mean, I think it's actually going to reduce your overall costs and increase the numbers in the program.
Sounds like a great idea. So what do you need for us? You need us to...
You just kind of need your support in that, and then getting Lorenz's support as well. Set up some conversation between the councils, and well, what does that actually mean to you? What would you have to have from Lorenz, and what would they want to see from you, and just sort of formalize that. Coming at this point to see if we could get it in place by next summer, if it's agreeable to both sides.
is there a proposal you could write up for something like that?
Yeah, be happy to participate in that at whatever level you need to kind of get it documented out, sure.
I think it's a good idea. I'd be supportive.
I'll meet with them on the 18th, understand, the PR committee will meet with them on the 18th and understand where they're at, what they would like to see Pocahontas, get a proposal written up. And ideally, whatever they're contributing towards that other program, we just ask them to roll that this way and then kind of come back to you guys with an offer in that format. Is how I would expect it to play out.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks.
May I ask for an introduction on your behalf for our new superintendent?
Yes. This is Rob Boley, our new superintendent. I'll let you take it from there.
You want me to stand up?
Yeah.
No, I started July 1. Been learning a lot in the building, so my job, I think it's a great idea. I think it strengthens both communities. We go by PAC, Pocahontas Area Community. So let's start making sure that everybody feels a part of that community. And I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Anything further on our part that we need to do right now?
No.
Be enthused about
Right, just, if you guys agreed that you would have interest in possibly pursuing that, then I can convey that to Lorenz and say, you know, Pocahontas is interested in this if you are. And we'll meet with them on the 18th and then get together some sort of written proposal to get back to you.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Everybody in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Alrighty.
Okay, moving along. Approved demolition project, 504 Northwest Fifth Street, the Holtz Claw.
Yep, Holtz Claw property. These are pictures of what's left. It was knocked down here in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. So if you guys are okay, we've still got this $1,000. It comes out of TIF money that we designate for things like this.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Been moved and second to approve the demolition project. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, road closures for our August events.
This includes the carnival and the car show. And as we found out this morning, parts of Main Street will be blocked as early as 8 a.m. Was that the 14th, Alex?
It'll be the Thursday, whatever that Thursday.
Okay,
I guess 14.
okay.
So that's, he's planning on coming in and start setting up at 8 a.m., which is new this year. He's never done that
Yeah,
before. So
early.
he's gonna get here a lot earlier, so. Carnival.
And where is that?
So it'll be the north end of North Main, so it typically takes out from the alley, from Siler's post office to the alley behind the Shaw building, and then it goes all the way down. We usually use the light pole, the fence by El Amigos and stuff. It's kind of a general, I don't know if he's bringing new stuff, but that's generally where it goes. So it blocks Siler's off a little bit. Parker was gonna make sure that Misty was aware for Flex Fitness. Make sure all those, and then the tuck pointing, I didn't know how much longer they would be there. But for the most part, it shouldn't have a huge interference to anything. So,
It's okay to you?
be done with that. Yeah, I would think so.
By the end of this week,
And you just tape that all of a sudden it's still there. And put the tilt on it.
Do you see no problems with this?
So, motion?
Need a motion?
for both of them, or?
I'll make the motion.
Yep, we can do both.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the event closures for August. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Chapter 55, Animal Protection and Control, chickens in city limits. Is this your,
This is on all this.
All right, good evening, members of the city council and fellow citizens. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Emily Samachek, and I'm here to advocate for a change to our city's current code regarding chicken ownership. As a chicken owner and a strong supporter of the 4-H program, I believe that allowing chickens in our community is not only a positive change for families, but also an investment in the future of our children and the health of our community. I've had my chickens for 3 years now, and they have become an integral part of my family's life. It was a bit surprising when all of a sudden I was being told I cannot have them due to current codes. I'm not the only one in our community that feels this way. Many of us are committed to raising our children with strong values of responsibility, sustainability, and care for animals. Chickens have provided not just fresh eggs, but invaluable life lessons about hard work, compassion, and even the joy of knowing where your food comes from. But it's not just about the fresh eggs. There are several key benefits to allowing chickens in our city, which I'd like to highlight today. Educational value for our children. Chickens are a fantastic tool for teaching children responsibility. Many families, like mine, use chickens to give hands-on experience with animal care. This teaches empathy, discipline, and respect for living creatures. Additionally, I know the critical role that chickens play in programs like 4-H. These programs gives the kids a chance to learn about agriculture, animal husbandry, and leadership skills that are important in so many areas of life. Environmental benefits. Chickens can help us reduce waste by eating food scraps, thus minimizing the waste that end up in our landfills. Their manure, when composted properly, is a great natural fertilizer for gardens in an era where sustainability is a growing concern. Chickens are also eco-friendly way to support local food systems. Number 3, mental health and physical health benefits. The simple act of tending to chickens can have therapeutic benefits. Studies show that interacting with animals can reduce stress and improve mental well-being. For children, spending time outdoors and caring for animals promotes a healthy, active lifestyle. Number 4, raising chickens can provide families with a source of fresh, healthy eggs. In some cases, it can even offer a modest income for children or families who sell eggs at local markets. This can be particularly valuable in tough economic times. Now, I understand that there may be concerns about noise, smell, or potential disruptions. However, I believe these concerns can be addressed with proper regulations and guidelines. Remember, I've had my chickens for 3 years, and no one knew, other than my neighbor, who I gave fresh eggs to. It was much appreciated. Other cities, including those right here in our county, have successfully allowed chickens by implementing zoning regulations and noise control measures. We can do the same. As it stands, we are the only city in the county that doesn't allow chickens, and that limits the opportunities for our children to participate in valuable programs like 4-H. It's important to remember that we're not asking for widespread industrial farming, but for a chance for families to raise a few chickens in their backyards, just as many have done in the nearby town for years. In conclusion, I ask that you consider the long-term benefits that allowing chickens in our community can bring not just to families, but to the whole community. Chickens teach responsibility, promote sustainability, support children's education, and foster a connection to the natural world. I urge you to think about the future of our town and the next generation of kids who will benefit from learning these valuable lessons. Let's take this step together and change the code so our children can participate in programs like 4-H and our families can enjoy the benefits of raising chickens. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any discussion?
All I gotta say is that sooner or later, a rooster's gonna get in there and it's gonna start crowing at 5 o'clock in the morning. The neighbor's gonna be pissed. They're gonna call me or anybody on the council.
We have a regulation in our town, and it's no roosters. And
I know, but one will end up in there somehow. They always
I
do.
don't think you can tell when they're itty bitty.
Yeah, they can be sex.
Okay.
That'd be like any other rule that was broken, you have to go in and fix that rule, or fix that problem. That's all there is to it.
So what town are you talking?
Pocahontas.
No,
Lorenz,
Lorenz.
we're from Lorenz.
I mean, it wouldn't be any worse to have a chicken than have a rabbits, you know? Are you gonna not have any, let anybody have any rabbits because they make too much noise?
Rabbits don't make noise like chickens.
Female chickens really don't make any noise. I've had my chickens for 3 years, and with the petty neighbor that I live next door to, you guys would have heard about it if they were a problem.
Before we decide anything, can we see what the regulations are in the other towns?
So I have the Ramses code and I have that, and just to make sure, so when we started, so part of our process today, you got the big packet of, and it's the first set of codes, right? And so Emily and I had a long talk about this, and so she knew she had kind of gotten ahead of the thing because I invited her to. So actually, today we're doing chapters 1 through 35. The next, when we go to our next round of thing, this code would be in the chapters 36 through 57. The way I broke them out to make it a little more sense. So again, I can definitely bring you codes from Fonda, Lorenz. I have access to all of those.
I like to read them before we make a decision either way.
I can find all.
Just to see what they.
Probably a limit.
Yes.
Just so most of them just have like,
3 to 5.
I think Lake City can have 6 hens. It's 3 to 5
3 to 5, I
hens.
think. Yeah.
You have to have the coop for them, and there's really no other regulations besides the no roosters. I mean, that's a big rule in every town.
And like I said, and I think and the way this whole situation came up, not to dig down into it, but, and I'm neutral on it. I don't have an opinion either way. It's just like with dogs. I mean, we do two to 3 dogs a week, and we are in a constant battle to, and for the most part, Facebook works, but at Heritage Days, we had a guy for 5 hours. So my concern comes that if we do have a bad pet owner or chicken owner or however we want to look at it, that we need to get established with the city what those collection fees, like in Fonda, if we picked up a pet and they didn't pick it up within a certain time frame, there was a $50 minimum right there to retrieve your pet. And then if they made it into, we do have a shelter now that will take chickens. We actually had to do this for one of our other folks because he went off to a halfway house. But we got his chickens out of his house, and so we even have a place to house them, and then there'll be those fees and everything that needs to be. So that's my only concern, is that if we're going to add chickens into our mix, we're picking up between mostly dogs and every once in a while the occasional feline.
The only concern I really have with it is it's just like dogs, right?
Right.
Your neighbor, most people take care of their animals, but your neighbor doesn't, and the smell. We raised chickens when I was on the farm forever, and the smell. And then what do you do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the smell would probably be more
they don't
substantial
clean
if
it
you
out,
had
right?
40 to 50 chickens. But, I mean, mine are in my garage. I have 3. And, I mean, my window's open. I can't smell
But
it.
you clean up after them.
Yeah.
What if someone does it for months and months and months?
Well, that's just like, what if
So
somebody
you have
doesn't
to have
clean
a
up
rule.
their yard for
Right,
months and
that's what I'm
months
saying,
and
that's
months?
the only concern I have about it.
Especially summertime when it's
Especially
95 degrees.
that mold smell. But other than that,
Yeah,
until I
like I
read
said.
some regulations, I wanna.
So, I mean, and I can get with you too, Emily, and if you find some other ones that you want. I mean, like I said, I'm neither opposed nor for it. I mean, we talked about, I have a bias against birds, but that's more of a joke, funny kind of, haha. I grew up and got attacked.
You can call me and I'll come catch them.
Right. So now we just found our volunteer chicken catcher. So I would much prefer that than to have me do it. So like I said, I mean, we'll work through it. And like I said, so that they won't cycle it in. So then we finish this, and kind of to jump a little bit into that next piece is that, so today they got the first set of chapters. When they come back, the discussion will be over that, but then I'm going to give you your next set of chapters. So basically would be the first meeting in September, then we would come full. So whatever, whatever you got. And then, like I said, I'll find, and then again, I'll be pro and against. I mean, I won't pick a side, but like I said, I'm not saying I'm against them either by any stretch of the imagination. It's just let the folks determine it.
So we can table it for
I'll
now?
table it for now.
We just need that information.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll work on that and get with you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So as I kind of explain how this is going to work to try to get through this, it's a relatively involved process, but I think it's important for the council really. And again, this is actually good education. Like I said, Kyle will become a much better code person because we're going to get into some things and things that you may not have realized. But I'm also not going to dwell on a lot of stuff. I'm going to hit some of the high points. So today, normally what it'll be is I'll hit high points of this. You guys will take them home. You have 2 weeks to study. And then if you have any changes, or during those 2 weeks you find you want more information, please reach out to me and say, hey, Alex, I'd like to look into this, I would look into that. And then we'll build that, and then I'll get with the city attorney and confirm that everything's, so I'll do all that footwork for you guys. It's just, this way we can kind of get through it. And so we basically will have, I've got it broken down into about 5 meetings that this is to take. So, and like I said, so just real quick, as you can see, this is just one, this is the basics of everything. And just kind of going through that and just making sure you know In the first section, the only question I had, and it's not a huge one, is on the standard penalty under 1.14. And it talks about, and for the most part, those are set. You can set your minimum fine of $65. The state used to be $50. I was going to provide you a little more information of that for the discussion next time, but I wanted to show you that one.
1.14.
So 1.14 is a
Page 4.
Chapter 2, there is nothing. Chapter 3, there is nothing. So Chapter 4, municipal infractions, and just a real quick lesson on municipal infractions. The city code allows for misdemeanor criminal enforcement, and then they allow what's called a municipal infraction. Municipal infractions are more of a civil action than a criminal action. The criminal action usually has that limit of $65 for a minimum fee, right? Up to $625. If we go for municipal infraction, the minimum is $750. That's what we set it at, but it's a civil. It doesn't require as much proof. And this is all standard across the state of Iowa. I mean, these are normally at $750 and then repeat offenses at $1,000. But that's what this chapter means. So when we kind of look at the municipal infraction, that's really just what you can choose from. So not a lot of changes in it, but they just talked about that 404 for the 4.04 for civil citations. That's all stuff with the clerk of court. The key is obviously the city attorney, not the county attorney, is responsible for working with me and the enforcement of all of this. So this is also where we will get our orders. So if we have to have the guys come in and clean up a mess. We get a court order, and then it also then comes back and is paid by the person in offense on top of the $750. Section 5, I think it was 5.06 in meetings. And this is again on the electronic meeting, I think is the only reason why it kind of is that, for the most part, again, according to Vice, I mean, most of this is pretty standard. It's just those electronic meetings there's always questions on that. Again, person impossible or impractical and compliance. I mean, I think it's fine, but I just want to make sure everything else is pretty well set up. They talk about who can give oaths and whatnot, conflict of interest, and then how you fill your vacancies. And then, again, it does include the gift section, what you're allowed to take.
What we're looking at, what generally that section just goes.
And again, most of the stuff, the nice thing about the first part here is a good test for you guys. It's going to give you a good thing to run through, but there aren't a lot of changes because the state of Iowa sets the rules on this. So what we write is basically what they tell us we have to write, right? They talk about how to do a city election. Again, nothing we're going to change there because that's all set by Iowa code. Fiscal management. The other important part of this, and that comes up with chapter 7, and I point out to 7.05 and 7.08. And why this is important is the finance officer shall submit the completed budget no later than February 15th of each year. Is that what we're doing? Remember, the city code needs to be what you do, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, so that's the only reason why, too, I'm going through this. If that's not attainable or there's another way to write that, those are the things that we want to look at. So is that the valid way that you want to deal with that? I mean, do you want to say February 15th? Do you want to say March 1st? I mean, I know the state has slid some of those things down a little ways, but, 7.08, financial reports. The finance officer shall prepare monthly reports. Shows you what you're actually supposed to get every month. Is that what we're doing? Is it no? That's where we get into trouble, right? Annual report. Is there actually an annual report done? I mean, I don't know. I guess I've never. Does it need to be an annual report?
I think it's done, and it ain't that what.
It's done. That's what Nick done.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
But does that meet the?
Nick,
Oh.
Nick, he's supposed to be doing a monthly one and a year-end one.
Right.
Is
And
that for the auditor?
yes, and I know there's some stuff that's not up to date, and
Forward.
I want to talk about that before
Yeah.
or I'm gonna bring it up.
Nick's actually coming to the next meeting. So-
Yeah, but I wanna talk about it
Oh,
on
yeah.
where we're at and kind of what's happening, so we're aware of what's happening.
Yes.
Right, and I just want to, like I said, that's just one of those things that is just to make sure what's done is done, or what hard is learned. It's like chapter 8 is again, that's pretty much set. I'm gonna make sure that is current again, to make sure I didn't miss any changes this year. Chapter 9, urban revitalization, renewals, mayor, so chapter 50. One thing to note too is where it drives people a little bit nuts is that you look at the code book and it says there's 900 pages. But you look at it and there's no way it's 900 pages because they built in gaps inside the code. So like this one goes from 52 and it says next page is 71. So don't ever let that get you, like, where did this go? But a lot of times people will miss that and like, oh, I didn't get all the code. Well, no, you did. It just they do that for spacing, yeah. So then, and out of this one, 1504, this is where I want to make sure everybody is aware. The salary for elected officials in the city of Pocahontas is set by ordinance.
Yep.
So, just making sure those are in there. Is that what you want to do? Like here, for the instance of the mayor, who do they appoint? Who are they responsible for? It also shows you what boards you actually have authorized by your city code. 16 is just mayor pro tem. 17, again, it's all along those lines, right? I mean, for the most part, the state sets those things. Of course, I always enjoy the compelling attendance one because that's the one you send the chief of police out to recover your wayward city council person. Yes, I'm laughing about that. I think it's funny. But just making sure that all that, is there anything in there? I mean, for the most part, this is all set. City clerk duties are all enumerated. So I know the city had done a lot of that work with like job descriptions and stuff, but you also have to remember that it's actually set by ordinance. The job descriptions for the clerk and the administrator are all actually set by ordinance. So if you have a job description that doesn't match your ordinance, the ordinance wins. So just some things to think about, and maybe that's something that needs to get attuned. And if we come through this, we say, yeah, we need to do this. Remember, we don't have to change it, that meeting. We can continue to do research. This was just to help us go through the process. So Kyle duties are all set in there. Required to attend at meetings. The city treasurer, obviously, which we go through. The city attorney. Like I said, most of these I really didn't see much changes to. City administrator is all in there. And then this comes into your boards. Library Board of Trustees. And making sure, is that what they're doing? I mean, those can be just kind of important questions. Not that we're questioning that they're doing good or bad work. It's just, is this the format they're following, or do we need to go and maybe change something? Or, members of, or, I know Lola gives the annual report and whatnot. And then, of course, it actually has it's interesting, the library has its own theft section, so then that's all I have to refer to. Library materials as their own thing. Planning and zoning and how that works. And what's interesting to me is that you not only have planning and zoning, is don't get confused, is that your airport zoning falls under the city code. But your planning and zoning book is separate from the city code. Again, things I don't know if everybody knows or they don't know. So, your park commission and all the rules, and and again, are they meeting as pursuant to they need to? Is there something that needs to be done different? And that, like I said, and you guys know some of that better because I know my lanes, which is a large part of the book, is obviously public peace disorder and all that other stuff. But some of the stuff, Hospital Board of Trustees is obviously, since the hospital is owned by the city. The community center board is in here, so, and its rules. And then, like I said, you have a zoning commission for the airport, its own zoning commission, and then you have your airport commission. The final ones, police department and fire department, and I don't know, maybe if somebody, I can send this off to the fire department, make sure, because police department is standard, there's not much, but like the fire department, election of officers and that, I don't know if they still do it that way or how it's enumerated in there. Maybe they want to make a change to it, I don't know. So, and that gets you for the first round. So like I said, nothing too hard, run through it. If you have questions, please reach out. Call me. answer you whenever, and we will go through that. And if I don't know the answer, I will either engage the city attorney or I will find you the answer wherever it's at. But this will be a nice review to clean these things up, and then again, it'll help us. And by doing it this way, again, there is a significant cost to having a private company do this. I wish more cities did it this way, because then you're more of a part of it, right? Instead of just throwing you a book. So, but I hope to not bore you, and I hope to not delay the meetings too much.
Good information.
Thank you.
Are we completed there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Board of Adjustment meeting?
This got moved because one person on the board showed up. Everybody else was at the lake or on vacation, so it got moved to a Wednesday. It's in the paper again. Everything's published like it should. It's the same property it was, it just got moved. That's all that was. I just wanted it out there so we all knew what was going on.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, moving on. Discuss and review evaluation process.
This one's yours.
So on these papers you got here, it's kind of the same evaluation that I do on our guys at the hospital. We were talking about having her evaluation coming up. I think we need something that we can evaluate her with instead of just all sitting here trying to come up with stuff at the last minute. So how this works is you read the question or the statement on here, and then you grade her what you think she would grade under. 1, 3, or 5 is your options. 3 meaning she's meeting expectations. If you give her a 5, you should write down the reason why you gave her a 5. And if you give her a 1, you should do the same. 3, you don't have to write anything. Then we'll bring it back, and then we'll go over that in our evaluation.
And then I have a section 2 I have to do.
Yeah.
And I
She
will
has a
bring my
section to
notes.
fill
You'll
out,
get it
too.
in the packet before the next.
Right.
And it's just an example, right?
What?
As far as the questions, these
This is actually the
This is
questions.
actually.
okay, that's off of what James and we discussed at our,
Yes,
Kinda, yeah.
okay.
I have those notes too.
But yeah, it goes, I see what you're saying. It goes off of what we discussed
Right,
a few months back.
right,
But we didn't have anything.
right, and we just had basically individual titles.
Yeah.
and- Yeah.
So this will be, well,
I have
if you
James.
guys agree with it, I mean, that's not only my decision, but I'm gonna fill it out so I have something to grade on.
Let me understand now. We're evaluating our past evaluation, are we not?
This is.
No, yeah, the things that we decided that she needed to do
Right.
improvements of. Is that what we're evaluating now?
I think we'll be evaluating them and anything additional.
Will we, is there a specific statement to those things that she was evaluated on before? In other words, these are all generic things here. I don't see us getting into what you evaluated her on before. Because she's been evaluated, and these are the things that you were supposed to put down as improvements or did well.
She actually hasn't been evaluated. There was just stuff that we came up that she could improve on. She's never had, right, official evaluation, correct?
I consider that an evaluation.
Yeah, how did you not consider that?
Other than we didn't grade her, we just kind of basically talked about it and came up with. So yeah, it was basically, it was kind of a different evaluation than what we're trying to put a number or.
Yeah, we're trying to put a structure.
And if you
Right.
still have them notes.
I sure do.
You can send them out in that packet too for
Yes,
next.
yes.
Yeah, probably should be.
Oh, yeah,
I still have mine, but
That's what we're evaluating,
Yeah,
to me.
right, right.
Yeah, no, you'll get it before the next meeting. When we go closed is when you get those kinds of things, yeah. Yep.
so on.
Brian, you okay with all that? Okay. The last two things are just estimates, so everybody knows what's going on. I have talked to those that might rent the airport. They're considering doing some of the work themselves, which would be nice. But this is what the mid-state guy did me just to walk in the door. It's $45,000. And that's not turning the water on. That's just, you can see what it includes.
I thought they were just gonna use it for storage.
Well, now they're considering the whole building because their guys don't have anywhere to stay. So those offices will be converted into,
Bedrooms.
yep, and there's bathrooms and showers. The hotel rooms apparently are causing an issue. They can't get the guys close enough to Pokey's booked. So then they're all the way at home.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so their travel time is cutting into their just,
Flying time.
yeah. And since they're from Parkersburg, that's too far. And this other thing is the pool heaters, 89,009. I'm just starting to compile these, and then I'm gonna go for a grant. It doesn't open up until March of next year, but I'm gonna go for a grant and include everything I can for the pool.
How long has the heaters been out?
This will be their first full year. Last year was intermittent,
So the heaters were out all year?
most of the year.
We didn't know that last year?
We did, and they tried to fix them, and they tried to repair them, and tried. Now this year, nobody's able to repair them, so we're to the point they need replacing.
This, includes labor and everything installed.
Yes. It does not include what Silers would have to do to the actual plumbing in the shower houses and bring the plumbing up from underground. This is just the pool. The heaters that are in the pool. The heaters in the showers, yes, they got brand new hot water heaters in the showers this year.
So what do we gotta change the plumbing for that?
Because it's all busting underneath and costing us even more to go dig it in there. We've had to go in, we already spent $4,500 at Silers with busted pipes.
Okay.
I don't wanna beat a dead horse, but I'm still not understanding. So last year, we knew they were down. And who tried to fix them?
Dave and this guy from ACO,
So,
and somebody from here in Pokey tried to help this year from the manufacturing out there on 4.
yeah, well, yeah.
Armstrong.
Armstrong. So we knew
I
They were-
didn't,
yeah, I know, but we knew,
Yeah.
someone knew
Yeah,
that,
there was an issue.
there was an issue and we never looked into it all winter long. It took a whole nother year before
Before we actually
we
got an
understood they
estimate.
weren't working.
Yeah, they tried 3 times before we went, this year, they tried 3 times before they went to the estimate stage. 3 times before the guy said, we cannot do it. They're just too old and
We
it's
gotta
too.
get to where we don't put Band-Aids on stuff.
Exactly, and it's just old equipment. Very old. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a big one in Rice.
Yeah.
But still, if you have it, you should up.
Well, yeah, we gotta keep it up.
I mean,
I'm also
a year
looking-
without it, everybody paid for their tickets and everything.
But
We
the
had-
weather held out okay, or they wouldn't have been in the water.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was freezing.
I bet.
If you're not gonna use up grants on next year, you can have next year either.
The grants are closed until March.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah.
just talked
Next
to
year,
the
it
state.
opens up either.
They want a warranty, it'll be a year.
You're behind.
So we gotta come up with money if we get a grant and cover this
We have to,
until we get the grant. If we get it.
yes.
So I
The
think,
grant will open and close in time for next summer and count us in because I contacted the lady at the state. But we still have to have 50% of whatever we decide to operate. And I'm checking the historical site to make sure we can do something with the roof.
so is this 89 just to
Just
fix the heaters? So can we, before next year, fix that? And then if we're gonna have to fix it anyway.
I know that.
So can we fix it and then get the grant money, or what is our options there?
I don't think you can get the grant money if you've already
You
repaired it.
cannot.
Rarely is there a grant that works retro.
Yeah.
So then we'll have to go another year without heat.
Well, no,
Well, or fix it this year and figure out how we're gonna pay for it.
right.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna wait for the grant, well, they don't open till March.
But we'll
How
have
long
it
does
in
it
time to go.
Well,
They'll,
the pool don't open until
I
May.
realize that, but we still have to order pumps and all them. Are they back ordered, or we can't get some of our pumps at the hospital for 6 to 8 weeks? So,
it says here, lead time for the heater is expected 12 to 14 weeks. So I'm just gonna have to look around and see.
that was my,
Look at more parameters. Yep, you can look. Do some more research. That's a lot of money. I don't know
time
where
to
it's.
put them in and tear them out.
Well, I don't think that'll take too long.
That pump, we
There's
had to get the
Sandy.
pump for the slide this year. That was 9,600.
They're just saying, I figure out where the hell we're gonna get the money.
I know it. This one I'm not sure.
You know?
Okay. Good thoughts, so yes, Dean, I can go dig around and see. I'll have to look at the dates from the tax returns. I was looking at one through some kind of water or something through the state, that cat grant might be open. But I think you have to have more of the money down, I think you have to have 65%.
Is that pretty much money every year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't make money, does not. Do I have bills signed, Tom?
I didn't see a sheet to sign.
So we can
Oh.
make payments.
Good one.
Alex, do you have any more?
Just Heritage Days went really well. I have, Parker and I have already met, we've talking about some changes looking at next year. Obviously, the population was huge, we know that there was kind of a specialized to it. But him and I have already met about some changes and some things we think people may, if it's all considered through the chamber and all that other stuff, to maybe make it even more of a, the downtown a little bit easier for people to, negotiate and enjoy the festivities. So, but overall, no incidents, nothing really, anything. Fireworks went really easy, a lot easier than last year as far as the roping off and stuff. No, everything went pretty good there. And then the other one, and of course, but that's why we got late to the meeting, is the one common problem that we're having in the city of Pocahontas is e-vehicles. Scooters, bikes, ATV, UTVs. I put them all, and again, they're not necessarily, and golf carts. So 2 of those are really easy for me to deal with. ATVs, 18 years old, with a driver's license, with insurance, and registered up in the recorder's office. That is a mandatory minimum. Slow-moving vehicle signs are required by code. Okay, so that's the front part of those. Golf carts, slow-moving vehicle sign, flag, 16, driver's license. Cannot be operated past sunset or before sunrise, which we've had that problem too. Again, and I sigh there because then we get into even the better stuff. E-bikes. An e-bike is not those little motorcycle-y things. I was described to me that they had one pulling a wheelie, little kid pulling a wheelie down Main Street. That is not appropriate. That is against the law. And it's dangerous on top of that. Those little motorcycles require you to be 16 and have a driver's license, insurance, and the whole bit. They are required to be registered. They have no exception to anything, so you have to be 16 with a license with those. E-scooters, 16 with a license to be on the public street. I'm looking at maybe modifying an ordinance because I want to get everybody, because everybody can buy them and everybody says Walmart and everybody else says, hey, go ahead and buy these things. But people don't understand the rules on these e-scooters, and we have kids, they're required to follow the stop signs. All of these vehicles we're talking about are required to follow the traffic control devices. You can receive citations for any of them not following, so if they're running stop signs or whatever, that is, again, those are all required. But what's getting us, especially, is if we could create an ordinance, and because I have given a little bit of, as I've been working through this with the state of Iowa, trying to get educational materials out of them, because it seems like they're kind of like, well, it's really a local problem right now. Well, it is. Somebody's going to get killed one of these times because the kid's going to take a corner in their e-scooter. I wouldn't have a problem if we could figure out how to make it work. But again, these things can be operated with parents present within audible control of the juvenile. I don't see that, but that's something for us to continue further down the road. I don't know that that's allowed because we can't change the driver's license requirement. So I don't know how I don't know if that's anything I can do. But just one thought process for those parents saying, well, I just spent $1,000 on all this stuff and now you're telling me I can't have it. Well, you never really could have it before. It's just the state of Iowa really never did a great job of telling any of us what the rules were until we are at today. And then finally on e-bikes, where we get those little motorcycles, they have to have pedals. So if your e-bike is under a 1-horse motor or 750 cc's with pedals, you're not required to have, you just ride it like it's considered a regular bicycle. If it is above that, well, then again, driver's licenses apply, insurance applies, registration may apply. So we have a significant problem in this community, and it is not just this community, it's across the entire state of Iowa. It's just trying to get people educated, trying to get parents to understand, and then so we got these kids who are just zooming way too much. So we are going to start educating is our first goal, and we'll go from there. So, I was like, the last thing because some of this little motorcycle bikes, literally, I've got 7 and 8 year olds out there riding them, and it's like, they don't. It's just, but they can't be out there, and again, and I'm just concerned that I just hope parents understand they should not be out there on the roads by themselves because it is too dangerous. They're going to get, and if they get hit, just like on a motorcycle, right? And I'm a motorcycle rider, the chance of survival is not very good. So, we definitely need to sort those kind of things out. None of us want to have to respond to that. But that is what's going to start happening is you're going to see more enforcement on that. Because we had already started enforcement on the bicycles because we have a problem with bicycles running stop signs right in front of cars, and more importantly at night, no lights at all. And we've had right down the middle of Highway 3 out here, I had one, and he's just pedaling his heart in the wrong lane, taking a semi head on, and I'm watching and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? What? Where's your mother? Well, she's back at Family Dollar. I think we need to go back and talk to her. So we have really been, there's other reasons too for bicycles. We've actually gotten some warrants and stuff out of that. So just so everybody knows, we're gonna ramp up our education for parents to say, you really have to be there. And I've talked to some of our more common kids out there, and I've already talked to the parents, and they've all been supportive. None of them have been, but we gotta lock this down a lot more. And again, I was hoping for better help from the state of Iowa to help us educate. That's not happening. So there will probably be a Facebook post on this that just enumerates, these are the rules.
Right.
We gotta start
I know
following.
who's coming.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
Kyle.
There's been a lot of improvement with meters. Working with Keisha, it's been very good lately. Keisha's been doing a very good job of learning the system and just being diligent, working with G-Works to figure out issues, and we're just about completely done with fixing the meters. So that's really good news.
Our 100 is down to 2.
Yeah. We got down the 100 meters that were not working, we got it down to 2. So other than that, making a lot of progress.
Good job with that.
They're kicking through. My only thing, the roof is done at the Armory. They're coming back this week to do the black mold on the inside. I don't know how you feel about pulling a rollout out there and scrapping what's inside, cause it needs to go. I don't know any scrappers around here. The
I
only,
know one.
the only roll-off I know is Becker's, is that who it is? Bennett's? Bennett.
Sanitation.
I am working with a lady, Janan is her first name. She is the original person that helped design G-Works. And she's actually gonna come and stay here a couple days, here in a couple weeks. But she is helping us get G-Works back on track for the sections they never used. So we can go back and actually balance these things the way we're supposed to. We're balancing the best we can, but there are things that are not going where they should be going automatically. We're having to manually do it. So she's getting in there and telling it to do it automatically like it should. So, working on all that.
And one quick alibi, big thanks to the guys. We had the storage units we got broken into in the month of June, just in case anybody doesn't know. They worked it from the inside. They actually got in and cut holes through the side. The city guys really helped me cut locks and do stuff, and Chad came down and we helped these folks deal with the fact of the trauma of having their lives basically stolen, and none of us, I mean, you wouldn't have ever known that they didn't belong down there. So I just want to put a shout out to the guys.
That's all I got.
Which area was that?
So it'd be on the back side of the one behind Thrifty White.
You're kidding.
No,
I know anything about
about $14,000 worth of missing stuff.
And any apprehension of any?
I've got DNA to send down, I've got fingerprints to send down, I got all sorts of good stuff to send down to the lab, so I gotta make a trip. It's a lot, so we'll see if the lab doesn't get them mad. We got a lot, they left a lot of, evidence, let's just put it that way. So, but they destroyed these, I mean, the three families involved absolutely just destroyed their lives. I mean, and a lot of it, again, people put it in storage and they never go down there, but you never expect your stuff to be broken and sold off and all that other stuff. So the three families, it was pretty hard for them. So like I said, it helped having Chad come down with the garbage truck and everything else. We just dealt with it, so.
I'll be sure and tell them you said that. Council,
Brian?
I'm good.
Tom?
I just have one thing. I guess I got a phone call from this individual. I can bring up who it is. It's Nick
oh,
at Weimer's.
yeah.
And with the budget, or with us not getting the books balanced, it's difficult for him to try to get his job done. So I just curious on where we're headed with this, and and I know he's gonna be here next meeting, but
Yes.
I would like to kind of get a heads up, or kind of like to know what your guys' plan are. Do we need some extra training to help resolve this problem? Because it's been going on since September of last year.
Yep.
And we're already 2 months into the new fiscal year.
We are balanced through January as of right now.
Okay,
So we gotta get the reports over to him.
okay.
So, and Janan plans to be done with June by our next meeting. So that puts June, so that puts us through the fiscal year. That puts us in July, and then we're just now in August, so
Right.
we'll be caught up.
But I just wanna make sure that, things are balanced,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we've got it figured out, or if we need some help, I guess we better be getting it so we can
Yep.
get it corrected, because the longer we let this go, the bigger problem we're gonna have.
Oh, yeah. And that's bringing this Janan in.
Okay.
She's great. She is retired and does help 2 other cities, and she can't be in the system when I'm in the system.
Okay.
So that's why she's actually coming for a couple days,
Okay,
so she can sit with me and see what all we go through.
thank you.
I'm on it.
That's all I have.
What about you?
How many big trucks can we get around the corners up here in the parade?
What?
The pro co-op trucks I'm talking about.
I know.
I had to swing out pretty wide there, and I was wondering,
Yeah.
if that's negotiable or. I'm not.
We'll talk.
I just wondering how that will work. we did have a wire clip running across the street.
Yeah, so and Parker knows that's one of the discussions too, is that we need to, there will be height limitations then posted in the, because nobody ever thought, and again, it was a communications wire, it wasn't a power wire, so. And again, Colby came right down those just to make sure everything was solid.
It was solid, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so Colby was able to, he went down there just real quick to check it, even though it wasn't his, but he was able to, that it was a hole wasn't cracked or broken. Yeah, I know.
Who'd have thought of all things?
I know.
Let me understand, what are we supposed to do with these then? Are we supposed to fill these out beforehand? That just, okay. I guess that's all I have.
So, wait, I got something. So, I talked to one of the gals on the board to see if they're gonna come back, and she's gonna follow up with me, and I haven't heard back, but at least the conversation has been talked about.
The Heinz
Center, yeah.
Okay,
So as soon as I called her once and I didn't get an answer, so
okay.
that's all I got. Now you can.
Who's second?
Second.